Hello everybody, spooky season has arrived, and today I am going to talk about some spooky books. Hi, I'm Jason White, and this is Jason's Weird Reads, and as I just mentioned, I am going to be talking about spooky books. Most importantly, my spooky season pile of possibilities. And there's an announcement. I'm going to get to the announcement right away because not everyone always watches the videos to the end, and that's perfectly understandable. But I am going to create a book club. And this is something I'd planned on doing for a long time, but because of my crazy schedule at the factory, when I was at the factory, I just didn't want to commit to something like that. So now I am going to create a book club, and our first read is going to be for October of 2023. So I decided that since this is my book club, I was going to pick the first book. Now, before I get into what the book is, I am going to, I'm just going to mention that where you can find it. And you can find it on Fable. I believe Fable is a fairly new app that it's surrounded around book clubs, but you can also import, and it's very easy to import your libraries from Goodreads, and you can also import your Kindle books, all the Kindle books you have on your Kindle. I don't know how well that works because I've done it and it doesn't seem like all the books have imported, but most of them I think are there. And then you can have all these lists of where these, pretty much all the lists that you have on your Goodreads come to, and that's where you find all your books. And like I said, this app, Fable, is geared towards around book clubs, and that's pretty much the whole point. It's not really a reading app where you track your reading. It's a book club app, and so that's fascinating, and I encourage everyone to go download the Fable app, where we will gather and we will read books and discuss them once a month. So there'll be one book a month. Since this app is since it's geared towards book clubs, there's also polls you can do. So I'm not too sure how I will do the polls, but I'll start the polls pretty soon, and you can vote on what we're going to read next. I'm just choosing the first one because, well, it's a little late, and I planned on doing this last week, but things got in the way. I was, starting the new job and whatnot. So, Pet Sematary. I think that's a good spooky season read. So that's definitely one I'm going to be tackling. I'm going to be listening to this on audiobook because the actor, his name escapes me right now, but the guy who does Dexter, I'll put his name down there. I don't know why I'm forgetting his name. As I get older, I forget things a lot easier. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that in their life. Anyway, so yeah, he Dexters it. He narrates it, so I've heard it's very, very good. So I'm very much looking forward to this. Will be a reread for me as well. I'm very much looking forward to checking out or reading this book with anyone who wants to come and join. I'm going to be talking about this book club a lot because I'm going to want people to join, and there's a lot of book clubs out there, so I totally understand if you don't want to join because you already have like 10 book clubs on the go. But I'll have the links down there where you can go and either create an account, or if you already have an account, you can just go and join. It's Fable, and so far I really enjoy it. I just want to give Jonathan over at TikTok a shout out because he always talks about he has a book club on Fable, and I joined his book club, and that's what gave me the idea. I think this thing is brilliant. It's better, I think, than doing it on Discord, quite possibly, and also it's better than doing it on Goodreads. This app, like I said, it's geared towards book clubs. So let me get into the rest of my pile of possibilities. There's 4 books here, and I've been wanting to read some of these for a very long time, and one of them is a brand new release. And so we're going to we're going to get into it right now. So first up, I'm very excited to see that Autumn Crow High by Cameron Chaney was just released like last week, and there was like no, I mean, he's been talking about this book a long time, and he obviously ran into some issues because I think he wanted to release it last year or even the year before that. I'm not sure, but it's been a long time in coming, and there was no announcements as to when it was actually going to be released, but it's out now, and I am more than excited to dig into it. I really enjoyed Autumn Crow by Cameron Chaney. That's like one of my favorite all-time Halloween books to read, and so this takes place in a high school. It's a full-length novel. I don't really want to get into the synopsis too much because I actually want to go into this very blind, but as you can see, the cover is awesome. The cover is done by Cameron Robique, and it's going to be fun. It's Cameron Chaney, and I know he worked on it until he felt it was perfect, and so I am so ready to dig into this. Next up is Mary by Nat Cassidy. You know, this is a book that's, I think it was just released last year, late 2022, I want to say. And a lot of people have been talking about it. I mean, this has been making a lot of, like, as with any popular book, there is a divide with whether or not people like it or not. But for the most part, I've heard a lot of great things about this book. And it seems like it's a very good spooky book in that the only thing I really know about it is, and now I know I could be wrong about the synopsis here. I'm not reading any synopsises. I'm not reading any synopsises today. But all I know about this book is that it's about somebody who moves into a new place. I don't know if it's an apartment or a house, and they start seeing women with pillowcases over their heads, and it's sort of haunted by this. And I've heard it goes into some disturbing territory. It's like these women who have pillowcases over their heads, they were murdered brutally. So it'll be interesting for me to go back after I read it and talk to you guys about this, how different the actual story was. Dark Harvest is next by Norman Partridge. Now this is specifically a Halloween story. Dark Harvest takes place in like the early 1960s. I believe it's 1963, and there's this, from my understanding, there's like this creature that rises from the cornfields every Halloween with like a butcher knife in his hand, and he goes after the kids, and the kids, I guess in this story, like want to fight back. So this is going to be a classic future, if it's not already considered a classic horror book for Halloween, and I am all for it. It sounds to me like a bit of a slasher. I'm not entirely sure, but I've been wanting to read this book for years, and it just appeared on my Audible last year, and I didn't get to listen to it then, but it's definitely on the list for this year, and I am more than excited to dive into Dark Harvest by Norman Partridge. I don't know, I mean, a lot of people I know have talked about this book, and they go on about how good it is, so I can't wait. And last but not least, I am going to read a modern take on Frankenstein, and it's called The Modern Prometheus, an existential body horror novel, and it's by Jason Robert Ducharme. I hope that's how you pronounce his last name. Anyways, this book is about a poor fellow who lost everything in his life. He I guess he dies somehow, and he wakes up stitched with other people's body parts attached to him. He's a modern freaking Frankenstein. And I think this is perfect for Halloween because it's a modern take on the Frankenstein story. And this also goes out to Jonathan because from TikTok, because he's talked about this book a lot this year. He says it's really good, and I think, as I just said, and I'm going to repeat myself, I guess, this is the perfect time to read a Frankenstein story. And I don't really want to go back to read the original Frankenstein, but I am so in for reading this one. It's fairly short. It's only like, I think 210 pages. And so hopefully I'll be able to fly through it fairly quickly. And I hope it's going to be an awesome read. All right. So that is my little pile of possibilities for the spooky season. Please let me know what you plan on reading deep down there in the darkness. Keep being safe and keep being creative. And I'll catch you guys in the next bookish video.